Welcome back, everyone. We're now in my kitchen and I want to show you how to produce some of your own dressings. Dressings cost next to nothing, and I honestly have to say that most of the dressings that are lining the shelves of most grocery stores really have way too many preservatives and they just don't have that fresh, vital taste. So let's get started with a really simple dressing. You've got these recipes inside your packet for this first week, and the first one I'm going to do is just what I call Jeannie's vinaigrette. It's a very simple, basic vinaigrette using a combination of either some olive oil, or it could be, it could be some kind of unrefined oil. This is sesame oil. It could be macadamia nut oil or pumpkin seed oil. Whatever oils, walnut oil works really nicely. But for today, we're going to be using just plain olive oil. So I'm going to just make it really simple. I'm putting a cup of olive oil into my jar. And to that, I'm going to add a half a cup of vinegar. And I want to share with you, I'm using today some brown rice vinegar. Brown rice vinegar is a little bit lighter, it's milder, so for some of you that don't like that strong flavor, it works really nicely. But in addition, you could mix some different acids. So I'm going to actually include about 2/3 brown rice vinegar and a little bit of raw apple cider vinegar. And the reason I'm doing that is because I am trying to improve my digestion, and anytime that you can use some live raw foods in your diet, particularly in your salad, and I usually have my salad before a meal, it's going to improve the digestibility of my proteins. And so another benefit for keeping this around, this has really some wonderful tips, wonderful ways of being able to use it. If you read the side of the jar, you'll see there's lots of ideas. You could use balsamic. We have a member who mentioned to me she is on a candida cleanse, and people have to be careful of vinegars because they contain yeast. So any of your citrus would be a great way of using some acid, so lemon juice or orange juice or tangerine juice. In the winter, I really enjoy using tangerine juice and sesame oil is a nice combo. But today I'm just going to use this combination of the brown rice vinegar and the raw apple cider vinegar. Now to that, I'm going to use what would amount to a teaspoon or two of Dijon mustard. I'm just using an organic, cheapo brand from Whole Foods. What I like about this is that it doesn't have any gluten in it. It doesn't have anything that, anything other than just vinegar, mustard seeds, and water and salt. So that's it. So there's nothing else. So I sort of know 2 teaspoons, but if you don't, get yourself, your measuring spoons and measure it out. The reason why we put the Dijon mustard is because it's going to help to emulsify it. So you don't need much. Now, I have learned that garlic is just an amazing benefit to add to any of your vinegars because of a couple of reasons. One is that garlic, just by its nature, it's an antioxidant, but it also is a fantastic antimicrobial. And more we're finding that many of you have H. pylori and other kinds of bacteria that live in your gut and in your GI tract. And just incorporating a little bit of this, a little bit of garlic into your salad dressings will help to preserve the dressing and also give it that additional boost, that antimicrobial boost that we all need. So that's basically it. I could, if I needed to, add a little bit of some all-natural sea salt. I like to use a Celtic sea salt or something in which I'm not just using an iodized salt because I'm going to get all the nutrients. You don't need much, just a little bit. And if you like pepper, you could certainly add a little bit of cracked pepper right in here. If you wanted to wait until it was on your salad, you could do so. My husband and I both really enjoy fresh pepper, so I'm just going to put some right here into the jar. And then if I had any fresh herbs, which I have plenty from my garden, I could use, a little snipping of basil or dill, or here I've got some beautiful parsley. I'm a big fan of fennel because it really helps with my digestion. So you can be really creative here, or you could just simply leave it out. And that's it. Basically, this dressing is done. So all I need to do is just shake it up and get ready to enjoy it. Now you may find that it starts to separate if it sits out for a little bit, so I'm going to just take this and use it pretty lavishly. I really enjoy making sure that all of my salad greens, are really beautifully dressed. You don't need much because this is a little bit more of a thinner dressing, and it will cover the leaves. It doesn't kind of glomp up. Now you happen to see that I've got some beautiful flowers. I took some of my nasturtiums. If you happen to have them, nasturtiums are fantastic. If you had some rose petals that had been grown in more organic environment, that would be lovely. If you have some chopped tomato or any kind of beautiful cabbage that you could add in there. And let's go ahead and we eat with our eyes as well as we do with our taste buds. So making things look beautiful is not only something that gives us pleasure, but also remember that color is really an indication of health and well-being. The more color that we can incorporate into our diet, the better off we are. So here's my beautiful composed salad that my husband and I are going to enjoy this evening with our dinner. And I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more video. We'll get a chance to do a more of a composed dressing, adding a little bit more protein to it. So I'll see you in just a few minutes.